Madam District Attorney Sandra Doorley. My name is Chris Chichester. I live at 26 Sanders Farm Drive in Penfield, and I've lived here for 9 years. On October 7th, I sent you a Freedom of Information Law document demand. I'm not asking you. Quote, I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. The public employee payroll for the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Got that on October 7th. Why don't you send me the payroll? It's emailed to you. You got it. You're a public employee. Every single person at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office exists with taxpayer dollars. So, application for access to records, otherwise known as the Freedom of Information Law. All right? Now, I'm going to point to the key word here, Madam District Attorney. And you don't have to be William Rehnquist to understand the key word. I'm going to point to the key word for you, Madam District Attorney, with the appropriate finger. It's L-A-W, law. You got that, Sandra, sweetheart? Law. And I know you think I should be executed for calling you sweetheart. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. Public employee payroll for the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. October 12th. Where's your public employee payroll? Where is it? I also want to know, and I've been demanding this, the name of the female prosecutor who stands in the nauseating, vile, obscene star chamber of Penfield Town Court as I appear before John P. Lomenzo Jr. and says not one word, not one sound, not one syllable. There's her argument right there. That's what she has against me. That's her detailing this disgusting, despicable criminal contempt that Todd Baxter and his fanatics created for me. That's what she says. Nothing. What's her name? Did she come back to the office and say, excuse me, Marie Antoinette, Sandra Doorley, I just went to Penfield Town Court and I didn't say anything because this Chris Chichester's not guilty of a crime and he's appearing in front of John P. Lomenzo Jr., who's releasing sexual predator Daniel DeLouse III in Penfield because he has a relationship with Daniel DeLouse II. And I went to handcuffs and he was taken to Monroe County Jail. I didn't say a word. Did she come back to your office and say that? Huh? Did she? Sandra, put down that cake, all right? Put down that cake, honey. Now, D. Harrington signed right here. You got that? D. Harrington. Where's the public employee payroll? All right? D. Harrington signed. Where's the public employee payroll? D. Harrington signed. Where's the public employee payroll? D. Harrington signed. Maya Mastro Donato signed. Maya Mastro Donato. And you know what I hear also from you? Nothing. And I'm detailing this abridgment of my civil and constitutional rights. And you have a conviction integrity unit. I'm trying not to laugh at your conviction integrity unit, Madam District Attorney. Because you have to have integrity in order to recognize integrity. And you don't have integrity at all. How much you public employees paid? Send me the payroll. You got the FOIL. Send it to me. And you're going to get the FOIL from me again. And again, and again, and again before Election Day. Every single time you will refuse. Because you are above the law, Sandra Doorley. The law's a joke to you. So, re-elect Sandra Doorley. Why? Why do you want another 4 years in office? Tell me. Yeah, I saw your campaign commercial, Sandra, and you get it from your desk, and you go and you look out the window, and you're gazing out the window. Did you have Aaron Schickler there? Did he paint your portrait? You're deep in thought, gazing out the window. In all likelihood, at 47 South Fitzhugh in Rochester. What are you thinking about as you're gazing out the window there? Are you contemplating the beauty and the majesty of the United States Constitution? I've seen this document in my former place of employment in Washington, D.C. at the National Archives. And what you want to do, Sandra, is shred the United States Constitution, the original. That's exactly what you would do. And you probably want to do the same to the Declaration of Independence and the Federalist Papers, too, because justice is a joke to you. So, Sandra, party switching fraud. Now, Sandra, I have been a New York Jets fan my whole life. And I didn't suddenly decide that I'm going to be a New York Giants fan. So, when I think about people that switch parties in the pursuit of higher office, it says these people will say and do anything. And you aren't saying anything fraud, Sandra. So, Sandra, I have been a New York Mets fan since 1972 when my dad took me to Shea Stadium. And I have always been a New York Mets fan. All right, and the Mets have only won the World Series twice in 1969, the Miracle Mets, that beautiful team, the 162 Mets. And then they won again in 1986 with that epic Game 6 game known as the Bill Buckner game. All right, and this is 2 World Series wins. And that is not a lot. And I say we because I'm on the team, are on a 33-year drought. So that's a big drought. Now, what I did not do is what Stephen Chichester did. And what Stephen Chichester did is decide he wanted to be a Yankee fan. All right? Now, I've always been a Mets fan, and I'm going to be a Mets fan my whole life. You got that, Sandra? Because I'm not a party-switching fraud, and I don't cash in my teams either. You got that? This is my team. So, which team do you want, Sandra? Huh? Tell me. Now, conviction, integrity, unit. Is that right, Sandra? So, Sandra, I must admire the picture of your boyfriend. I know you have a picture of your boyfriend on your office wall there, in your office in Rochester that you used to obstruct justice. And, he is looking quite dashing here. He's got a forehead like this. You're in love. I know you're in love with this forehead because of your boyfriend here. He's got a forehead just like Sheriff Baxter. You can ski down his forehead here. You see that? Boy, I know you're looking at this picture of your boyfriend right now. You want to be with him. I know you're in love with your boyfriend. Now, Sandra, I'm concerned about Sheriff Baxter and his organization of fanatics because it's come to my attention that Sheriff Baxter has now relocated to Guyana, South America. And this is very troubling for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office to be in Guyana, South America, in the jungle. That's where he is right now. And I have a picture here of Sheriff Baxter, and he's got a microphone, and he's addressing his 170 whack jobs at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. You can see him right here. There's Sheriff Baxter here, all right? And he's got his 1970s, aviator porn star glasses on there. I don't know what's going on with that there. And here he's at the microphone, and what he's telling his fanatics here is go to Chris Chichester's house at 26 Sanders Farm Drive, and drink this Kool-Aid on your way down Penfield Road. Suck this baby down. And then when you get to Chris Chichester's house, we're going to set him up because we're going to order the toothless grass cutter to go by his house. He knows that Layla Kumar and A-Rod Shah, these 2 whack jobs, these 2 sick, demented human beings, don't own that land. So he's going to come outside for 30 seconds, and then we're going to have 6 of my fanatics go to his house, and Deputy Whack Job Myers is going to fall down on his face in his backyard and be pounding on his door. He'll go outside. He's wondering why these 6 fanatics are here because he was only outside for 30 seconds to tell the toothless grass cutter that they don't own that land. And that is how Chris Chichester is charged with criminal contempt, being outside for 30 seconds to tell a toothless grass cutter they don't own that land. So I go to the now defunct PW Fitness in Penfield. I'm at the back of the gym. You've been told this, and you're going to be told it repeatedly. And the gym psychopath Jermaine Benman is there. And he comes up to me, and he motions like this for me to get off the bench press. I'm on the bench press. I'm about to do my 3rd set of 10, and I never allow the gym psychopath to intimidate me at the gym. I lean back to continue the exercise. And Benman straddles me. I can see the outline of his small penis. It's right here. And his small penis is the same size as the penis for Sheriff Baxter. And he punches down like this. My head snaps back. And this is an assault. And I did not respond to him with my own violence, and I should have. Because if I responded to him with my own violence and a fight broke out, it would have been a fight at the gym. And there are fights at the gym every day for any number of reasons. Because the gym attracts people that use drugs, that use steroids, artificial enhancements, anything to make themselves bigger and stronger. Because the freak show is at the gym, and I've seen these people. I've seen one guy, he looks like he could be standing next to Arnold Schwarzenegger at the Mr. Olympia in 1975 in the film Pumping Iron. That's what a freak show this guy is at the gym, because he's obviously using chemicals that are illegal to look that way. And there are people at the gym that use these chemicals. They want to look a certain way. So the gym psychopath is Jermaine Benton. I have no idea what he's using or what he's on, or if he's just a psychopath without drugs. So he comes up to me, motions, get off the machine. I know, and he punches down, my head snaps back. Then I have to go outside with Andrew Reality. Reality tells me to wait in his police vehicle. I do. His sheriff's vehicle. I do. He's talking to Benman. I'm looking at this happen, and this is not going to be good for me. And this corrupt hack, Andrew Reality, who thinks he's my buddy every time I see him, marches Benman around to the side of the vehicle. Benman says, quote, I want to press charges against you, end quote. And that is how I'm charged with this vile concoction of harassment second. What would you think if that happened to someone in your family, Sandra Doorley? What would you think? What would you think about being charged with harassment second, someone in your family, a male in your family, sitting in the backseat of Andrew Reality's Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and they're charged with harassment second after this violent thug, Jermaine Benman, went berserk? How would you feel about that? If that family member came to you and said, hypothetically, Aunt Sandra, I just went to the gym. This Jermaine Benman wanted to use the bench press. He punched down with my head snapped back. I went outside, and I'm sitting in the police vehicle, and this corrupt hack, Andrew Reality, walks Jermaine Benman around to the side of the vehicle, Aunt Sandra, and that's how I'm charged with harassment second. What would you think about that? If your nephew, if you have a nephew, because I don't know if you have a nephew, hypothetically, if your nephew told you that's the way he's charged with harassment second, conviction integrity unit. And then I have to go to Penfield Town Court. I appear before John P. Lomenzo Jr. I look over, there's nothing from your prosecutor, and I'm off to Monroe County Jail. Then Benman, he goes to Penfield Town Court, and he appears before James Mully. I get there. Pay attention, district attorney, employee in charge of the local courts. Guess who that is? So anyway, Kyle Steinbach. Benman appears in front of James Mully. Now I get a subpoena. So I have to go to Penfield Town Court, which is in a library. I didn't even know that. I lived in Penfield for 9 years. I didn't know Penfield Town Court is inside the library because I've never committed a crime. And I didn't know Penfield Town Court is inside the Penfield Public Library, even though beautiful, perfect Laura, my ex-girlfriend, worked at the Penfield Library. I'd been over there to see her. I did not know. Despite the fact that beautiful, perfect Laura works at the Penfield Library, I've been over to see it. At the end of the hall is John Lomenzo and James Mully, these two hacks. So I get the subpoena for Benman. And I appear. I'm sitting in court because I have the subpoena. I comply with the law. And a court employee comes up to me, are you Chris Chichester? I say yes. They tell me to leave the courtroom. That's because there's a deal between your office, Sandra Doorley, and your conviction integrity union, and James Mully and the attorney for Jermaine Benman to let Benman go free. So as I'm sitting in this room next to a courtroom in a library, I'm in there for 15 minutes, and then the court employee at the window says you can leave, and I don't leave. And I go to the window, and I say, what happened with the Jermaine Benman case? And I'm told, quote, adjournment of dismissal. I don't know what that is. And I say, what is adjournment of dismissal? And she replies, if he stays out of trouble, the charges are dismissed. She talks like she's in the 5th grade, if he stays out of trouble. Oh, you mean if he doesn't go berserk at the gym like a psychopath, the charges are dismissed? Do you even know what's happening in your Monroe County District Attorney's office? Do you know what is going on with your public employees? And the answer to that is no. And you want another 4 years in office? You want another 4 years in office to abridge the civil and constitutional rights of innocent Americans? Re-elect Sandra Doorley. I see this on Penfield Road. I have to prevent myself from becoming physically ill when I see re-elect Sandra Doorley. So, now Sandra, I'm demanding the payroll for Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter. He's refusing to open his mail. This is a public employee. I'll give you an idea of what a corrupt presence Todd Baxter is in Monroe County. Taxpayer dollars create his criminal existence. And I'm demanding to know what his public employees are paid. I want to know specifically what Andrew Reale is paid. I want to know what Deputy Whackjob Myers paid. I speak to this Deputy Meyer on the phone for an hour. I tell her everything. I walk through this parking lot every day for 7 years, 4,000 times. And what I don't know is she either wrote the warrant before she talked to me or right after she talked to me. So there's a warrant for me for walking through a parking lot I've walked through 4,000 times. I am New York's one and only 4,000 time criminal, Sandra Doorley, and your conviction integrity unit fraud. Every day people are walking through that parking lot. None are arrested. I walk through that parking lot, Nairaj and Layla Kumar, these two parasites will go berserk. It is a parking lot. A parking lot. And Todd Baxter wants to nail me to the wall in the parking lot. And you know what he does, Sandra? You know what he does in his 1984? He affixes this device to 2025 Penfield Road. There it is right there. That's a surveillance device. And I was on it. And when I was standing in the corner of the parking lot, after he sent the toothless grass cutter by my house on purpose because it set me up, I was on it. Because the video of me was on the phone of his deputy whack job, and I've demanded that video 50 times, and they refused to comply every time. Every single time. So, now I'm going to hold your big needle, your small needle, your small needle of whack job, Sandra. Let me hold your small needle of whack job. So, I take this document, this is 50 pages, and I go to his Panorama Trail office as I hold your small needle of whack job, Sandra Doyle. I'm going to put down your small needle of whack job. Your big needle of whack job is on the roof of my house. So, this guy, this sergeant in his Panorama Trail office who has me in handcuffs on my front lawn with the 5 other whack jobs, right? He's in this office. So I go to him. And I'm demanding from him. What do you think I'm demanding, Sandra? This is on July 6th. I go in there. The public employee payroll for Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Monroe County Jail. I'm going to point to the key word here with the appropriate finger for you, Sandra. Law, L-A-W. I know you were told there'd be no spelling, but law is spelled L-A-W. The public employee payroll for Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Monroe County Jail, July 6th. Where's the public employee payroll, Sheriff Stooge Baxter? This guy has me in handcuffs on my front lawn. I go to hand him this because I want to know how much he's paid. He has a distinctive long last name, and I don't know his first name. Don't want to know. If someone has me, like this guy, in handcuffs on my front lawn, I demand to know what he's paid by the taxpayers of Monroe County and the state of New York. And at the criminal empire of Todd Baxter, the law doesn't apply to him because he's above the law. You are above the law in Monroe County, Todd Baxter. The law is a joke to you. The law's in your office, Shredder. The law's for other people. So, these parasites, Nairaj and Layla Kumar Shah, going by my house. Where's the title to land? You cut land alongside my house, prove it. Refused. If you own land, why do you think I'm out there? I know with 100% certainty they don't own that land. And it doesn't matter to these parasites at all. Layla Kumar Shah. Refused. Refused. So, I go outside for 30 seconds to tell them they don't own their land. I'm on the video. Pointing. They don't. I go back in my house. Steve Desmond of Brock Tree and Lawn Care gets on the phone because Sheriff Todd Baxter's whack jobs as Panorama Trail officer empowering a private citizen. So, now I'm going to read you, Sandra, a subpoena. And guess who the subpoena's from, Sandra? Because I got it right here. Can you guess who I got the subpoena from? Bench trial, Judge Mully. This is for Jermaine Bendman. Christopher Chichester, 26 Sanders Farm Drive. You and each of you. I'm going to have to call E.B. White and William Strunk about you and each of you about the writing of your subpoena because you need to fix your subpoena. You can't even write a subpoena, at your criminal organization, the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. You and each of you are hereby commanded to appear before Penfield Town Court, Town of Penfield, 1985, Bag Road, Penfield, New York, on August 7, 2018 at 12 p.m. And in any research adjourned date as a witness in a criminal action prosecuted by the people of the state of New York versus Jermaine Lamar Bedman, dated at the city of Rochester on July 18, 2018. And who do you think name is on here? Sandra Doorley, District Attorney. So I get the subpoena from you, Sandra Doorley. You subpoenaed me. And I go to Penfield Town Court. And as I explain what happened, they are forcing me to make this appearance for this violent thug, Jermaine Bedman. And he walks right out the door. And I appear in front of Lomenzo and I go to jail. I have never committed a crime. And here I am, deposited in Monroe County Jail with the murderers, the rapists, the gang members, the arsonists, and the other degenerates. Now, there was a man I'm sitting next to. I get my tray of food. And I ate lunch next to this man. He is a large man, like 6'5", pushing 300 pounds. And after I eat my tray as an innocent man in Baxter jail, I go and I talk to Bob. And Bob is 80 years old. And he got into a situation, a domestic violence situation with his live-in girlfriend. And he explained it to me. And as he explained to me, I didn't think Bob was particularly violent, but he's in this jail. So he knew I couldn't eat the food at the jail. And Bob would bring me food. And I would talk to Bob because there was nobody to talk to. And I really like him a lot. And I felt sorry for him. And the circumstances of him being deposited in jail are similar to mine, where he claims he's an innocent man and he didn't do anything wrong. Well, how is it that an 80-year-old man is in Monroe County Jail and not segregated from the violent inmates that are 50 years younger than Bob? How does Todd Baxter put an 80-year-old man in jail where he is effectively at the mercy of violent criminals? This is what Todd Baxter is doing in Monroe County. And if this is brought to the attention of Todd Baxter will do nothing. Because Todd Baxter is an incompetent. Because Todd Baxter is indifferent to justice. Because Todd Baxter is indifferent to the truth. Because Todd Baxter is indifferent to humanity. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Martin Luther King Jr. letter from Birmingham jail. You know what he didn't say, Sheriff Baxter, from Birmingham jail? He did not say, quote, "I have a passion for jails." You were quoted in the Democrat Chronicle, Sheriff Baxter, saying, "I have a passion for jails." You are a sick, pathetic descent on humanity. I have a passion for jails. You have a passion for the suffering of other people. That's what you have, especially ones deposited in your inferno, not guilty of any crime. I'm 54 years old. I didn't suddenly learn not to be able to distinguish between right and wrong, legal and illegal. I have a passion for jails. You don't say, Todd Baxter, I have a passion for the truth. I have a passion for love. I have a passion for humanity. I have a passion for everything that makes life worth living. You don't say anything like that. You say, Todd Baxter, I have a passion for jails. There's something wrong with you, Todd Baxter. There is something radically wrong with you. And you can't even make up your mind what party you want to be in. You are a party-switching fraud. That's what you are. Because you'll say and do anything. You will say and do anything, Todd Baxter. in the pursuit of power. So, where's the public employee payroll, Sandra Doorley? Where's the public employee payroll, Todd Baxter? Send your public employee payroll to this email from this YouTube or my home address, 26 Sanders Farm Drive, Penfield, New York, 14526. Send your public employee payroll to cchichester4@gmail.com or 26 Sanders Farm Drive, Penfield, New York, 14526. I'm demanding it relentlessly, and I've been demanding it from Todd Baxter for a year. First, I sent it regular mail, no response. And then I sent it the email to his hack, Michael Radler. 18 times, you Michael Radler. God, 18 times you ignored it. Then I started sending it registered mail, return receipt. And right there's Michael Radler's signature on July 11th. So, you got the demand for the public employee payroll on July 11th, Michael Radler, the double dipper, and you ignored it. The laws for other people, and you're above the law at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. So, I'm going to send you, Todd Baxter, soon. Registered mail, return receipt. I'm going to send you an envelope. It's going to look just like this with that identifying marker. And what you need to do, what you must do, what you are compelled to do, is open up the envelope. Look at the Freedom of Information Law document that demands your public employee payroll. Print out your public employee payroll and mail your public employee payroll to my home address, Sheriff Todd Baxter.